This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Forest River Salem, model number 26D BUD. All right, so we'll just look at some of the features and we'll talk about them a bit. So first of all, you have got regular scissor type stabilizers, but this comes with another piece to the system. These are called strong arms. This yellow piece you're seeing here. The strong arm takes away the forward and rear movement when it's stabilized. It just gives it more stability. So the thing to remember is obviously this piece slides inside this piece. You have a T-handle here, right? You want to loosen this when you're raising and lowering the jack. So once you crank them down into the position you want them, so it's stabilized like you want, then you're going to tighten this, make it snug so this cannot slide inside. Inside the inner tube can't slide in the outer tube. So you're just stabilizing it. But before you bring it up, always make sure you loosen it, right? So that's the only thing you have to remember. There's one of these on each jack. When you get it in position, you tighten it up. And when you're going to crank it back up, you loosen it so it travels freely, okay? That's called a strong arm, and this helps you stabilize the trailer better. So you have a power awning with LED strip, okay? A rear door here. This goes right into the bathroom. So you put this here to get the, there we go. So you don't have to go through the whole trailer. Kids and guests don't have to run through your whole trailer to use your bathroom. They can just go through this door here. Okay? All right. So this vent here is for the range hood. The fan in the range hood. So if you're going to vent to the outside, it's hard to see because it's black, but you can push up on the baffle there. There's little thumb holes, and you can pop the baffle loose so it flaps freely. You always want it flapping freely when you're running the fan, so it vents to the outside. Otherwise, you snap it shut when you're traveling or in storage, anything like that. You have outside speakers, which are lighted. You have this is TV signal out, so excuse me. You've got power here, TV signal out, and they even should tell you there's a backing plate if you want to put a TV bracket there. But that's just for putting a TV outside. Now this is the fresh water tank fill right here. The most common way to get water to the trailer is the city water hookup. Almost everywhere you go, you're going to have city water. But if you're off the beaten path and there's no city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here. And then you can use the onboard pump to pump the water. All the plumbing will work as though you have city water, but you'll just be pumping it from the tank. So I'll show you the switch for the pump when we get inside, okay? All right, so that's your furnace vent, of course. This is just a sprayer port. There's a sprayer that plugs into that. I'll show you that when we get to it. This is your outside kitchen. Here, sorry about the camera work. I do the best I can with this camera. So you have a refrigerator. There's your sprayer right there. Okay, so you just plug that into the port. There may be a spot on the other side of the trailer to plug it into. We'll see. Okay. Now this is your griddle. All right. Now the griddle has a quick connect hose. Right. So you can see this is the female side. This snaps right onto here. Right? The male side, I'm just going to push this in so we can see. The male side will connect, let's find it right here. Hopefully you can see that right there. That's where it plugs into. There's another quick connect there. So you got to plug in the griddle to the LP system in order to use it. Okay? Your steps fold into the trailer. You can adjust the length of the legs, but just by pushing this up. You can adjust them independently of each other so they fit correctly on the terrain. Now, if you have it up too high, and you hear kind of a grinding noise, that's because you have it up too high, so it would be sticking up here, and the door can't clear it. So always make sure that you have it adjusted so it's parallel with the threshold here. If you hear it grinding, you're just going to lower it a bit until it closes correctly. Okay? Okay. So you have your front storage here. It's pass-through storage. Right now you have your hitch here. We'll show you how this operates when you pick up. It's a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. Well, like I said, we'll show you how that operates when you pick up. You have a crank here, a small crank, and you should have, you're missing a piece here, but I'll get it for you. There's also a drill attachment so you can operate your stabilizer, so I'll make sure that's in here. And this has to do with using if the awning fails, you can get it open or shut, I should say, using this device. You pretty much have to read about it or watch the video while you're doing it, but that's what it's for. This crank here is for the power tongue jack. If your power tongue jack happens to fail, you can't get hitched or unhitched, you can pull this rubber plug, put that crank on there, and you can crank it manually also to get yourself out of trouble. So that's a good thing to have. Let's see here, what's going on here? Okay, so he's got it shut off here. So, whoops, I just dropped it. This is the kill switch here. So it goes on like this. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. And then you're going to want it on like that. So that's your battery's connected right now. You can shut it off and kill the battery if you want to. That's what it's for. So you have a deep cycle marine battery, LP tanks with an automatic changeover regulator, which are full. Of course, your power tongue jack we talked about. On this side, you have a dump hose that comes with it. You have a reducer to reduce your 30 down to a 20 amp if you need to. Okay. As we move along, past your slide room. This, of course, is your 30 amp, 30-foot power cord. I just showed you the adapter if you want to adapt it down. These are your dump valves here. So you got two gray and one black. Black is toilet water and waste. Gray is sink and shower water. Generally, you dump the black first and then use the gray to wash it out. Now, if you want to flush your black tank, after you dump the black tank, leave the valve open in the open position, and you can bring the hose at the dump station here and actually screw it onto here and turn it on. Make sure, like it says on the sticker, that the valve is open. Turn it on and it'll actually flush out your black tank. Flush it out, generally speaking. It also will clean your sensors off. So it's a really good thing to do. It helps you get a much cleaner black tank. And like I said, it cleans the sensors too, so you get an accurate reading. The city water hookup we talked about, the most common way to get water to the trailer is right here. Just hook it up and you're all set. This is cable and satellite through. Up there you have a pre-wired, it's pre-wired for a Furrion backup camera. So if you ever want to add a backup camera, it's very simple. Just make sure you get the right one that fits in that housing. And you can see what's happening behind you when you're backing up, and you can even leave it on so you can see down when you're driving down the road if you want. Also, while we're looking up, the manufacturer states you should inspect the roof every 60 days. So you want to send somebody up there or go up there yourself, whichever you do, and make sure there's no cracking or separation at any of the sealant where water could get through. Make sure that there's no damage to the roofing attachments or roofing material by, let's say, low branches or road debris flying up there. Just give it an inspection. Make sure it's in good shape. You're just protecting your investment, staying ahead of any problems. It's part of general maintenance of the trailer. So make sure you inspect your roof. Also, that housing up there, or let's not call it housing, let's call it a detachment or a mount. I guess it's a mount. We'll go with the mount. That's in case you wanted to add a Lippert telescoping ladder to that. You can just hook it right on there. It's something you can purchase separately if you want. Okay, your water heater's right here. So let me do this. So this works on both gas and electric. This switch right here, this rocker switch, controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover, right? Right now the water heater is empty, as you can see, and this takes an inch and a 16th 6-point socket for the drain plug / anode rod. Okay, But right now it's empty and bypass because it's winterized. So never run the water heater without water in it. So right now, this obviously the electric heating element is off, and then the switch for the gas, which is in the trailer, is shut off also. I'll show you that when we get in there. Just remember, never run it without water in it. That's important. Okay, so as we move on, we'll go inside now. It's going to be warmer. I should have brought that rug up to here, actually. Okay. All right. Okay. So right here, you have your control panel. Your slide room switch is right here to operate your slide out, in and out. Okay, this one is for your power awning. Never leave the power awning out unattended, of course. Your lights are on. This is a dimmer. You can do it, just rub your thumb over it. Your water pump is right here. So remember I told you you can pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. You turn it on right there. That's also used to winterize the trailer. To light your water heater on gas, it's right here. There's the fault light up there. Remember I told you the electric switch is in the lower left-hand corner. Never run it without water in it. Okay, your battery's charged, fresh tank is empty, black is empty, both grays are empty. It graduates up in 1/3 increments as it goes. Once you get past 2/3, you gotta start thinking about dumping the gray and the black tanks, of course. Okay? Alrighty, so let's see what else we have here. This is a GFCI here, keep in mind. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI, so if you're using one and it goes out, even the one on the outside, you're going to reset it inside, okay? Now, well, let me see if I can find where he put the remotes here. He might still be in the packet. I don't know. Yeah, that's the stereo remote there. Oh, come on now. And I could feel the other one in here maybe. Anyway, I'll find it for you. The stereo and the fireplace have a remote. The fireplace, you also can use the buttons right here, on and off, of course. The main thing to know is the second button from the left will give you your fan speed. So low and high, that's the fan speed, so now it's really kicking out heat, right? You also have the thermostat. You can change the color of the flame and the crystals, right? And it also has a timer on it right there, so it does all that. So it's a really good space heater. Excuse me. And also, you know, if it's a time of year where it's not quite cold enough to run your furnace, you can run this. It runs off campground electricity, and you don't have to use up your limited supply of LP gas either, so that's good. All right, so your sound bar, okay, you have FM radio, no AM, just FM radio. You have a USB. You can put all your music or whatever you want on a USB and plug it right in there and stream from it. It also has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your phone or your tablet. This HDMI is an in, so once you get the TV hooked up, you could put a portable Blu-ray player right here and go straight into the system there, for example. Okay. You have two speaker zones, 1 and 2. 1 is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. So, okay. Also, this green light is on. You can shut it off if you want, but the green light tells us that the digital signal booster for the antenna is on. If you're using antenna at all, you want that on, okay? You would hook your when you hook up your TV, you would hook the coax right on here. This is auxiliary for a satellite hookup or something like that, okay? But that's the one you hook it onto. This is just telling us this is pre-wired for a booster for public Wi-Fi, which consists of an antenna on the roof and a router that will sit here. So there's also a port on the roof that's pre-wired where you would put the antenna, and then you have this here. If you're interested, go to kingconnect.com and you can look at the products they have for it. Always get the one with the antenna on the roof and the router. That's the best way to go. But that's what that's for, okay? Alrighty, let me get on my feet here. Okay, we'll go this way. So your keys are right here. Okay. Microwave works like any other microwave. This is your range hood fan here and light. So the fan there, and then the light, of course. Remember I told you about the baffle on the outside if you're using the fan. Always open it up. Always travel with this glass cover shut in a closed position so it doesn't break. Okay, so you have the knob to the left is the sparker. You turn it clockwise to spark it. Then you have 3 knobs here, 1 for each burner, and this one's for the oven. And then, of course, you have light here. Okay? So, see if you got the gas turned on here. Yes. So it's that simple. That's all you do to light it. The oven's a little bit different. You have all the way at the bottom, all the way to the back, you've got a pilot light. Maybe we can see it spark. There you go. Get an idea of the spark back there. So what you do is you go to the oven knob, you go to the picture of the flame, you depress it, keep it depressed during the whole lighting procedure. You start sparking it till the pilot light down here lights. Once it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you're going to go to operating temperature, and it cycles as an oven does. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, obviously, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. It's typical of RVs. Okay. All right, so your refrigerator is 12-volt DC refrigerator. So it runs on 12-volt DC, has a compressor, and it runs on 12-volt DC. Okay. This device here is your power converter. This converts AC to DC power. So when you're plugged in, these are your circuit breakers here, 110 AC, just like you have at home. And then they're labeled right here, right? Then the power is converted to 12-volt DC on this side. You got 12-volt fuses here, and they're all labeled. Okay. If any of them blow, you can actually see them glowing through this tinted plastic, for example. This will auto-detect what kind of batteries you have. Plus, it's a battery tender. It'll sense how much energy your battery has and needs. The one up front I'm talking about. And it'll, if it's charged, it'll just trickle a couple amps up there to maintain it. If it's low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever it needs to charge it. So this will also keep your battery charged. Of course, when you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator will send power through the charge line and keep your battery charged too. So when you're plugged in, this will charge your battery, and when you're towing, your tow vehicle charges it. Okay. All right. Well, I can just swing over here. This is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green, like it is. If it's not, get it serviced. If it goes off, it's detected LP or carbon monoxide. CO is on the left, and then there's a button on the right, or a light on the right for LP. But if it goes off, you take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off, figure out what's going on, okay? If it's not green, get it serviced. It's very important. Okay, so we have a closet here. To winterize the trailer, the water pump and everything is behind this panel here. So keep in mind that that's where you're going to draw the antifreeze in. Your thermostat is right here. You just hit the mode button to light it up, and then you're just going to hit it each time to go through all the options. For air conditioning, always run the fan on auto. It's the best way to go. And it's that simple. Okay, let's see here. We'll go to the bathroom here. We looked at it from the outside, but the sink and the shower work like any other sink and shower. Okay. The toilet, you just have to remember, it's got a flush pedal right here, and it has to be, it can't be dry when you use it. Right now you can see there's some antifreeze in it. The black tank is directly below, right down there. So when you're hooked up to water, you pull in the campground, you hook up your power and your water, you'll come in here, you'll put 1 dose of chemical right in the bowl, then step on the pedal, water will come swirling out, and you hold the pedal down long enough to put at least a gallon of water in there along with the chemical, right? And then it's set to be used. You can't use it dry, which is without chemical and water, because it'll get clogged up for one thing and the smell will be terrible for another thing. So never use it unless you got chemical and water in it to start off. Okay? All right. let's see what else we have here. You can drop the legs on this table, set it on these cleats, and turn this into a bed. This piece comes off here if you want to reconfigure it or remove it completely. It's up to you. This is a jackknife sofa. It jackknifes flat, so you can turn that into a bed. So you have 2 bunks over here, plus 2 auxiliary places to sleep, and then your master bed over here. You can pull it up, and there's storage underneath it, of course. You have TV hook up here if you wanted to add a TV, and there's where your backer plate goes. You just need a regular bracket that you can tilt this way, so you can get the proper angle when you're there, laying there looking at it. Your emergency window works like this. You just push it all the way through. I mean all the way through, and then you grab hold of this red tab and pull the screen out, and you can exit in an emergency. Okay. Doesn't seem to be on all the way there. I'll have a look at that. Okay, so you also have blinds on your windows. Okay. Alright, so let me look around and see if I forgot anything. I think I pretty much covered it all. I'm going to check and make sure you have the attachment for your drill to operate your jacks, and there was one other thing. Oh, make sure you have your remote for your fireplace. Okay. Alright, I'll take care of that for you. So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof. That's important. It should be part of your general maintenance routine. And also, this trailer right now is winterized, so all the water's been purged from the system, replaced with antifreeze. The water heater is bypassed, and it's empty right now, so it's all set for the winter. When you're getting ready to use it, make sure you fill the hot water tank before you turn it on. That's important. Okay? Thank you.